Good day, everyone. My name is Charles Matthew Urquia, and today we tackled about Futurism. So, what is Futurism? Futurism developed in Italy about the same time Cubism appeared in France. Futurist painters wanted their works to capture the speed and force of modern industrial society. Their paintings glorified the mechanical energy of modern life. Subjects included automobiles, motorcycles, and railroad trains, subject that express the explosive vitality of a modern society. So, Futurism. Futurism is an avant-garde art and social movement that originated in Italy. Key document for the development of Futurism is the Manifesto of Futurism, which was published by Filippo Tommaso Marinetti in 1909. Several manifestos were created in the wake of futurist philosophy. All these manifestos had a common attitude towards the past based on uncompromising rejection, while glorified the cult of youth, industrialization, speed, technology, and modernization, often emphasizing the violent component of the struggle of cultural and wider social change. Futurism developed in literature as well as in painting, sculpture, architecture, industrial design, music, film, dance, and also fashion. And Futurism began its transformation of Italian culture in February 1909. While the publication of the Futurist Manifesto, authored by the poet Filipino Tommaso Marinetti, although initially printed in La Gazzetta dell'Emilia in Italy also, it was produced a couple of weeks later on the front page of Le Figaro, which was when the largest circulation newspaper in France. The manifesto called for the glorification of progress, industry, and mechanization, and the removal of old ideas in institutions. Filippo Tommaso Marinetti, an Italian poet, founded the Futurist movement in Milan in 1909. He was soon joined by painters Umberto Boccioni, Carlo Gara, Giacomo Balla, and Gino Severini, who would define the visual poetics of Futurism in later years. The Technical Manifesto of Futurist Painting was first published in 1910 in Milan. The document introduces the philosophy of Futurism into the medium of painting by developing the concept of universal dynamism. In addition to Boccioni, the manifesto was signed by Carlo Gara, Giacomo Balla, and Luigi Rosolo, and Gino Severini. In the domain of formal aspects of painting, the Futurist painters relied on the experiences of post-impressionist and cubist. The post-impressionist method, divisionism for the Futurist painters, was crucial. The basis of the divisionist painting's creation can be summed up in two procedures. The first is the application of pure or unmixed color pigment on the canvas, and the second in the confrontation of the desired pairs of complementary colors in order to achieve maximum brightness. Secondly, the analytically principles of the cubist painting in the fragmentation of scenes enable the realization of the desired dynamics within the painting. So, in the Futurism, it is published by Filippo Tommaso Marinetti, and it is published in 1909, and also literature Futurism was also developed or created painting, sculpture, architecture, industrial design, music, film, dance, and fashion. And next is the examples of popular artists and their works.
Good day everyone. My name is Quina Rose Moral and this is a example of artists and their artworks. First is Futurism painting. And the Futurism painting is The City Rises. The artist is Umberto Bossi Bossi Bossi. The first painting is The City of Rises. The artist by Umberto Boccioni. The pioneering work launched Futurism when it was exhibited in Milan in the 1911 Mostra di Arte Libera exhibition of free art. The painting combined the brushstrokes and blurred forms of post-impressionism with cubism fracture representation. Originally entitled Lavoro Work, it depicts the construction of Milan's new electrical power plant. In the center of frame, a large of horse surges forward. The three men, their muscles training, try to guide and control it. In the background, other horse and workers can be seen. The blurred central figures of the men and horse, depicted in vibrant primary colors, become the focal point of the fringe movement that surrounds them, suggesting change inborn from chaos and the everyone, including the viewer, is caught up in the transformation. As art critic Michael Brunson notes, horses and people are force of nature pitted against and aligned with the another is a primal struggle from which Boccioni must have believed something revolutionary would be born. And this is the artwork of The City Rises. The next is the second Futurism painting is a funeral of the anarchist Gali by Art Carlo Cara. The painting commemorates the funeral of Gali, an artist killed during strike action. Hundreds, including women and children, attended its funeral procession, which was led by a cohort of anarchists. The painting captures the moment the police, mounted or horseback, attacked the procession. Cara was the funeral and in his later autobiography wrote, I found myself unwelling in the center of it. Before me I saw the coffin covered in red coronation, swayed dangerously on the shoulders of the pallbearers. I saw hers go mad. Stick and launches clashed. It seems to me the corpse could have fallen to the ground at any moment and the horses would have trumped it. Deeply struck, as I got home, I did a drawing of what I had seen. And this is the painting of funeral of the artist Galili. The medium material is oil and canvas. That's it. Next is another example of painting is the dynamism of a dog on leash by artist Giacomo Balla. This humorous painting shows a woman as she walks her small black Dutch down a city sidewalk, cropped to an extreme close-up. The woman's feet, along with the bottom folds of her black dress, as well as the dog feet, tail and floppy ears and multiplied and depicted in varying degrees of transparency and opacity. The fine metal leash becomes four parabolic curves connecting the woman to the dog. This repetition and replication of the moving elements creates a sense of forward motion which is in opposition of the pavement's diagonal lines. In creating this image, Bala drew up chronotographia in 1882. In time, Jules Mary invented the chronophotogenic gun, which allowed successive movements to be depicted in one photograph. This is one of the number of ways that the futurists tried to capture movement on canvas, and a similar technique can be seen in some of Bala's other work, such as A Girl Running on Balcony in 1912. And this is a painting of Dynamism of a Dog Unleashed artist by Giacomo Balla. Another example of painting Futurism sculpture.
Good day, everyone. My name is Jessa Morales. Example of Futurism sculpture. Unique forms of continuity in space. Artist by Umberto Boccioni. A man strives powerful forwards. His form aerodynamically deformed by speed at which he traveling. As art critic Barry Swapkis writes, the fluid riffling forms that make up this strange body are not its own. What Boccioni show us, I believe, is the air moving around and about it as the body steps forward, seemingly against some great resistance. Boccioni's man has no shape of his own, but he molded instead by those forces in space of which the determined process, geometrically rendered helmeted and faceless with massive thighs and shoulders but armless. The figures seem both superhuman and robotic, a kind of machine man of the modern age, in exaggerating the dynamism of the body. Boccioni's form becomes a metaphor for process acting against the forms of traditionalism and testament of the role that machinery will play in the new age that he has envisaged. Originally created in plaster, the work was not cast in Boccioni's lifetime, and the bronze show here is one of the two cast in 1933. Frustrated by limitation of canvas, Boccioni took up sculpture in 1912. Nothing that these days I'm obsessed by sculpture. I believe I have glimpsed a complete renovation of that mummified arts. As this statement indicates, he felt that he approached in emphasizing what he called a synthetic continuity of motion was radically transformed the medium and opposed to the analytical discontinuity he found in the works of other contemporary sculptors, including František Kopka and Marcel Duchamp. Despite her contempt for other types of sculpture, similarities can be seen between this work and other form traditional depiction, including Augustin Rodin, Walking Man, and the Wage Victory of some trees, both armless and headless figures striding forward. This is an example of sculpture. Then, example of Futurism architecture. Next kay Futurism Industrial Design. Then Future Passion. What are characteristics of Futurism? The characteristics of Futurism are the focus of technical process of the modern machine age, dynamism, speed, energy, and vitality and change. Who created Futurism? Futurism was started by Italian poet Filippo Tommaso Marinetti, who wrote the Futurism Manifesto. He was soon joined by the artists Umberto Boccioni, Carlo Cara, Luigi Rosolo, Gino Severini, and Giacomo Balla. What does it mean to be a futurist? For futurist artists, the aim was to capture the dynamism and energy of the modern world in the art. They denounce the past, instead proposing an art that celebrates the industrial and technological development of the modern age. And that's all about futurism, and thank you.